Just out here in the beautiful foothills today, and I wanted to discuss a little bit of fishing. So, all you guys out there, I was hoping we could talk a little bit about bass fishing and the effects of the forward-facing sonar. It looks to me like a lot of people are talking about banning it, and I just wanted to get everybody's opinion on whether you all think it should be banned. Probably shouldn't be banned, but we've got a lot of opinions about it right now. A lot of, fish biologists saying that it's going to destroy all the bass fisheries that we have around the country. So that's not something that we want to have happen. But yeah, I was just hoping we could get some opinions here on, the live scans, and see what people think about banning the forward-facing sonars, the live scope. I personally, I really don't have an opinion on it. I personally think that, I've always done great bass fishing just reading the water. It doesn't hurt to have a depth finder when you're on a boat. But as far as that goes, having a live scope, I don't think it's really necessary. But that said, I think banning them is probably going one step too far. So I don't know. What do you all think about it? I'll just wait for some people to get in the room here. It is a beautiful day in the foothills, and I was just enjoying myself out here, and I thought I'd share the scene with everybody and talk a little bit about fishing. Hello. Yeah, a lot of people are talking about banning the live scopes for bass fishing because it's depleting. The fish biologists are saying that it's starting to deplete the population of bass in the lakes. So I was wondering if anybody had an opinion on that. I know it's kind of a specific topic, but if you're a bass fisherman, it's something that you're gonna probably want to weigh in on. These live scopes have definitely impacted bass fishing in a way I don't think people realized was going to happen when they were originally created. But now we're at a point where the market is kind of saturated with them, and it's really starting to affect the populations of bass and walleye, from what I hear from the northern fishermen. Apparently, these devices make it very easy to target these walleye in the northern parts of the country. And this is being highly destructive on the local populations of walleye. So I really was hoping people could talk in the chat and just kind of give your opinions on this subject if you have one. But, if not, feel free to enjoy the view here. It is beautiful. Hope your day is going as good as mine. Had a good day so far. And, besides that, the salmon fishery has been closed for quite some time now. Hello, how you doing? It's good to hear from you. Salmon fishery has been closed for quite some time in California. Good, I'm doing good too. Thank you for the thumbs up. Anybody that can drop a thumbs up, it really helps the channel, gets more people in here on the discussion. In California, the salmon fishery has been closed for quite some time, for multiple years now. on all the rivers. And that's, something that is a difficult challenge to tackle. But it is something that needs to be done one way or another, right? And I believe on the Klamath River, we've been shown some pretty good progress with people. I got a rooster here pecking the bottom of the table. Go on, rooster. Go on. But on the Klamath River, the salmon fishery is starting to rebound now rather quickly after removing these dams. So that's something that is intriguing. And thank you for the thumbs up. I really appreciate that, guys. Yeah, that's something that's really intriguing. And, I think we have to find a way to keep the salmon fishery alive without removing the dams, right? Right here below me here is the Yuba River channel. Hello. Mikey? Nice to see you here. Yeah, right here below me here is the Yuba River channel. And there used to be excellent salmon runs on this river. At this point, there's almost none, which is pretty sad. But I think the way to get more salmon in the river is to not tear the dams down, but to put fish ladders at all the dams. I think that the Army Corps of Engineers I know the Army Corps of Engineers is the entity that built these dams, financed them, and put them in place. And they should be responsible, logically, right, to build the fish ladders. It would cost, there have been some estimates of somewhere around $100 million, which is a lot of money to build a fish ladder on the Inglebright Dam, which is where the fish are stopped at. They can't get past it. This is somewhat of a local issue, but it does directly influence the fish population for the entire Sacramento Valley region. If we could get a fish ladder built by the Army Corps of Engineers, if we could put pressure on them as a community, as a fisherman's community, we could greatly impact all the fishing on the entire Sacramento region and the San Francisco Bay, right? So, because all the salmon that come to this area here, up here in Northern California, come through the Golden Gate Bridge, up to San Joaquin, up to Sacramento, and then right up here through this channel, and they get stopped just up the way. They get stopped cold right at Inglebright Dam, which is not okay. It's something that needs to be addressed on a probably a federal level, right? Like, it's such a big ask, right? Such a amount of money that needs to be spent to correct this problem. That really, hey, chicken just jumped up on the table here. It's really the only entity that can fund this would be the federal government on a timely manner. Sure, fishermen could save up for the next 2 decades, but by that time the salmon might be gone, right? Like, at least the California king salmon might be extinct, worst case scenario. So if we expect to save them, the entities that were responsible for putting these dams in place need to step up to the plate and put some money out, and build these things. I mean, they're the Army Corps of Engineers. They can build anything. They can put this dam in place. So that's something that's been on my mind. And I know we have a lot of problems as a country, right? Like, there's a lot of things that could and should be done. But economically, a salmon is worth what? $7 to $10 a pound, and each salmon is anywhere from 10 to 50 pounds. So when the river system is actually healthy, there's like 1 million salmon in it, maybe more. And so you're going to multiply 1 million times, say, 25, right? So there's 25 million times 9, right? Which is going to be your retail value of that salmon coming up the river yearly, right? So that's what the Army Corps of Engineers interrupted when they put these dams in place. That's the value of those salmon yearly. And that's just a rough estimate. That's like, not all of the rivers combined. If we added all the rivers combined, it's hard to put a number on it. I mean, it's really an astronomical number. You're talking hundreds of millions of dollars, if not, like $1 billion, at least hundreds of millions that they put a block to. And really, for what purpose? So people can water ski? I mean, I like water skiing. I like trout fishing. But hundreds of millions of dollars added to the economy. You're talking about a commercial salmon fishing fleet that was decimated in the San Francisco Bay. You're talking about dozens and dozens of small tackle shops along the river system that are dying, are just gone at this point. And it could be rectified. This is something that could be rectified. We could fix this with just, the proper social pressure placed on the Army Corps of Engineers. So that's something that I think about. Hello. Yeah, Mikey. Hi. Yeah, right. So yeah, there's that. And then what I started out the stream on talking about was the bass fishing and the population of bass fishing being highly affected by the live scopes, forward-facing sonar. And, people overusing them and overabundance of fish being harvested from our lakes, specifically crappie and largemouth bass. That apparently you can be pretty low skilled and just slay them with that. So, which is, catching a good catch of fish, a good crop of fish every day is a nice thing to do, but has to be done within reason. And if all the fish are just going to be caught with these live scopes, now they're talking about banning them. So, I'm just curious, what do you all think about banning the live scopes? I'm just going to kind of enjoy this view for a minute here. Drink my coffee. Feel free to make comments. This video will be posted as a video afterwards, so it's not just going to be a live stream and then disappear, because when you make a live stream, YouTube normally just deletes it right away, and then you have to mark it as a video that you want everyone to see on a continuous basis. Yeah, that's my dog. That's Aphrodite's. Got chickens and dogs running around here. I'm on the farm today. So, yeah, beautiful place, right? I love it up here. But anyhow, it's about springtime, or it will be in another month or two. A couple months. And trout fishing is in full swing right now. So it is time to hit the water and get those trout caught and get some pictures of those big lunkers. Let me just put this out there. If you've got any big pictures of some nice trout that you've caught, go ahead and send them to me. I'll post them on the channel. That's always nice. Seems like with the rise of the internet and just other things, like brag boards at tackle shops have kind of disappeared. And if you don't know what a brag board was, it was where, say you're a local guy and you caught a nice catfish or bass, you go to the local tackle shop and they'd have a board, say at the counter or at the entranceway, where you could put a picture of the fish you caught, right? And that was always a big thing. But anymore, there's just not very many local tackle shops. There's not many places where you can post pictures like that. So it's just kind of a thing that disappeared, which is kind of a bummer because it was a cool thing. It was a cool thing, you know? But so like what I'm saying is if you get a nice fish and you want people to see it, send it to me and I will post it on the channel so we can all see it as a community. I think that's a cool thing to do. If you're just joining the channel, please drop a like, consider subscribing. I know we talk about fishing, hunting, hiking, outdoors stuff. I focus the channel around fishing, but we do a lot of different things. Beautiful day out here. Thank you. Thank you much. Mikey just subscribed. Yeah, like I said before, down at the bottom of this canyon is the Yuba River. There's excellent steelhead fishing in there. We used to have excellent salmon fishing, but that's mostly gone by the wayside now. The state of California dumps, I honestly don't know how much money, but tens of thousands of dollars into salmon habitat rebuilding every year, which sounds like a good thing, right? Until you see what they're doing. They go down there to the river bottom. They dump logs on the shoulders of the river where the water really is never high enough to get to. And they pile them in a cross section to where they're lumped on top of each other. And they say that the salmon are going to be able to lay eggs there where the logs are, but the water never gets up to them. And then in the middle of the winter, when we have a big storm, the water gets real high, washes all the logs out, and that's it, they're gone. So rather than spending this money to dump logs into the river, it would be much smarter to just build the fish ladder at Eagle Bright Dam, which is just right up the way from here. One of my videos went viral, and it was me standing at the Eagle Bright Dam overlook. And if you go on the channel, you'll see it. The water's flowing over the dam during a winter storm, and it's pretty amazing sight, to be honest. And I don't see, it's a beautiful place. Eagle Bright Lake is a beautiful place, and I don't see the government ever removing that dam. Too many people would fight to protect the lake. However, it destroys the salmon habitat. So we have to get the fish ladder built. And the only way it's ever going to get built is if the Army Corps of Engineers put some money into doing that. So I know I've repeated that a number of times, but I just want everybody to understand that point. There's a group called Circle that protects the river, right? Like they're a group of a group of environmentalists, basically, right? That go up and down the river and they clean it and they make sure the trails are upkept and stuff, and that's wonderful. But I think we've missed the point of, is it a healthy river? It would be a healthy river if the salmon could get up through the dams. So that's where I'm at on it, you know. I want to see the salmon returned to the upper part of the river. The flip side of that is Inglebright Dam is, it was built in the 40s, so it's like 75 years old. It's cracked. You know, it could fail at this point, right? It was not built to last forever. It was built relatively quickly with decent construction technology at the time. Yeah, World War II time. That was when it was built. So it's old. And it's a big dam. And if it breaks, the whole valley would be in trouble. I mean, I could be in trouble. I'm on top of a cliff here, as you can see. I'm down overlooking the valley here in front of me. But it's a 300-foot tall dam. So the water would come rushing through here. And there's cities down below me called Marysville, Yuba City, and then Sacramento and Roseville and whatnot beyond that, right? And all of that would be under threat if this dam breaks. And I don't know if people realize that, you know, the rebar that they used to strengthen the dam when they built it is all rusted through by now, you know? That's why you see it cracking. And at one point, I understand that the Army Corps of Engineers had to drill a hole through the dam to relieve some sort of pressure. So now there's water that just shoots through it at those points, which is not ideal, obviously, right? And sometimes when the storms get really going and the water's really, really flowing, it just flows right over the top of the dam. And it's a phenomenon to see. It's like Niagara Falls or something. And normally the water flows under the dam, which is, you know, pretty safe. But when it fills and it flows over the top, it's I don't want to say it's completely unsafe, because it's been doing this for a long time, right? And it's been okay. But at some point that dam is going to fail. And it just seems smarter to me to either tear it down and rebuild it before it fails, or, you know, just tear it down and make it half the height as it is now. Because it was originally built to block river silt from building up in the Sacramento River and clogging the channel where the farmers were pulling their water from, right? And there was all the silt in the river because there was hydraulic mining going on up here back in the 1800s. And they did so much hydraulic mining, they deposited so much silt into the river that when they were banned from hydraulic mining in the late 1890s or 1880s, they left all the silt in the river canyon and it kept washing through and clogging everything up. So at that point, they said, well, let's build this dam and catch all the silt at the dam. Well, that happened. The river is beautiful from that point up now. I think it took like another 30, 40 years for all the silt to wash into the lake. The lake caught it all. So there's an amazing amount of silt trapped behind that dam, which, you know, which would be a tough thing to deal with, honestly. Like, if the dam was removed, it would be like a mud flood. If the dam breaks, it would be a horrible mud flood, washing through cities and everything in its path. So something I think the government needs to think about, right? And as it ages, it's not going to last forever. So at some point it will need to be removed. At some point, we will need to dredge that silt out of the way and do something with it, right? Or at least do it in a safe manner. Got my little Christmas coffee cup. Because this is all local knowledge that I've built up over the years. Thanks, Mikey. Yeah, this is just all local knowledge that I've built up over the years. And I hope somebody listens to it, because like I said, at some point the dam is going to fail and it's going to come washing through here. And I hate to think of what's going to happen when that happens, because it's not like the other dams where you'll get some warning, right? It's just a concrete wall. So when it goes, it's just the whole thing's just gonna go, right? So, yeah. Englebright Dam. Call your local, I don't know, senator, congressperson. Tell them Englebright Dam needs to be looked at. It needs to really be reevaluated, remodeled, rebuilt for the safety of everybody in the California Valley. But hey, I just wanted to talk a little bit today and look at the view. Thank you guys for listening, anybody that's still there. Appreciate you being here with me. Drop me a like or a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. I'll be doing some fishing videos later in the week. I'll try and do some live stream trout fishing coming up here in the next day or so. Got a little aluminum fishing boat I think I'm going to take out to Englebright today or tomorrow maybe. And I'll try do some videos of that and get those posted the next day or two. Yeah, the dam could collapse. That's true. I probably won't go to that lake, although I do go fishing there. And my sister has a houseboat on that lake. I grew up fishing on that lake. But that's why I know the condition of the dam, right? I worked at the marina for a while. And, it's not something that a lot of people know, is that the condition of it is really unsafe. When I worked at the marina, I got to know the owner of the marina, because the marina is leased by the Army Corps of Engineers to a man and his wife on the lake, and I got to know him. He's a pretty good guy. He's a millionaire. They own a marina, right? But I worked for him, and he's the one that really told me about the condition of the lake, and how when a big storm came through, the Army Corps Engineer were the ones that were fearful that it was going to collapse, right? So this is a real thing, It's not just something in my imagination that could happen. But, we all live under threat every day, right? No matter what we do, something bad could happen. So I'm not saying freak out. I'm not saying panic. I'm just saying, you wear a seatbelt so if you do have a car accident, you don't fly through the window. Well, maybe we should rebuild the dam before it collapses, right? Better to be proactive than reactive, in my opinion, especially with something with as many lives at risk as this. So, just my opinion, right? Thank you all for being here with me. I really do appreciate it. Enjoy this beautiful scenery out here, the Yuba River Canyon. We're on this hillside in Smartsville, California. It's not spring yet, but I've got flowers out here. I don't know. Can you see the flowers in the picture there on the bottom? Let me see. I'll tilt this. Yeah. See these flowers here? Pretty nice, huh? Surprising, right? You'd be kind of surprised that it's not spring yet, but I've already got beautiful flowers. It's because we're in what's called Zone 9B, and it just stays warm here, like year round. I mean, it gets cold, right? Don't get me wrong. We do get like a frost once or twice a year. It's beautiful, right? Yeah, I agree. And they smell wonderful. Sometimes I'll get a bouquet of these and put them in my living room. Makes the whole house smell great. But yeah, well, this is called Zone 9B. So I have a lemon tree and an avocado tree in my front yard. And we're all the way up past Sacramento, right? Almost up to Redding, which is fairly far north already, right? But in this little unique band of warm weather around the valley where the warm air rises off the valley and the cold air slips through the river canyons, like the bottoms of these, because cold air sinks and hot air rises, right? It just stays a few degrees warmer here year round. I had a lemon tree growing in the yard for many years, and I was born in Southern California, and I realized that in Southern California they grow lemon trees right alongside avocado trees. So I thought, I wonder, can I plant an avocado tree here? Because I never seen another avocado tree growing anywhere up here in Northern California. And so I went to the nursery and I asked them, what's the cold hardiest avocado tree that you guys carry? And they said, a Mexicali, right? So I got a Mexicali Grand avocado tree and I planted it in my front yard. And now it's the tallest tree in the yard. That was 10 years ago. So now it's the tallest tree in the yard, and it's almost reaching the power lines. And it produces fruit about every other year because it's got the conditions do have to be just right for it to produce fruit, or it'll get burned off, or just not right. But yeah, beautiful day. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna go do some rainbow trout fishing the next couple days. I'm thinking I'm gonna go up to maybe Scotts Flat Lake, which is up behind Nevada City, California, and fish for some rainbow trout. Maybe go to Bridgeport, South Fork Yuba River up above Englebright, and fish for smallmouth bass. There's a big covered bridge there that it's the oldest, not the oldest, it's the longest covered bridge in America. Threw you offline, huh? That's unusual, right? I wonder why it's doing that. Well, thank you for coming back. Appreciate you being here. But yeah, I might go to Bridgeport. It's a pretty scenic area. I think it would make a nice fishing video. Fish by the covered bridge. I think I'll go there tomorrow around 10-ish after I drop my kids off at school. And then I'll post the video probably around 1 or 2 tomorrow, just so everybody can see it, so you guys can see if I catch anything tomorrow. I usually fish with night crawlers in that river. But sometimes I'll fish with like soft baits, plastic baits, rubber baits, and it's a salt and pepper rubber grub is my favorite. It just kills it on the smallmouth bass in there, and they are just so aggressive and so hard fighting. I love those fish. I love catching smallmouth bass. I like catching largemouth bass too. Here's my dog Obsidian. Hey Obsidian and Aphrodite's. They're happy to be out here, huh? And they're beautiful weather girls. Not cooped up inside. Okay. Okay, Aphrodite. She's clawing me. She's jumping on me. Okay, sweetheart. But yeah, I can't say thank you enough for being here with me, guys. I appreciate you coming and visiting with me and spending a half an hour out of the mountain with me out here. You know, I like to talk fishing. I like to talk about fishing and the state of fishing. So yeah, that's what I like to do. Obsidian is my German Shepherd. As my German Shepherd. Obsidian is the German Shepherd. Aphrodite's is a German Shepherd mix, and they're both my dogs. They're good girls. They're little rambunctious right now. Pretty excited. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to wrap it up right now. I got a few things I got to go take care of. Thank you for being here with me. You guys have a great evening. Drop me a thumbs up. The channel can really use it. I'm still trying to get subscribers, trying to build up to 1,000. Have a great day. Take care of yourselves. Be good to each other. C'est la vie.